When you first start believing God for something, no one tells you this. There's going to come a day when your faith is intact, but your circumstances are unmoved. You've prayed, you've believed, you've stayed hopeful, and yet nothing looks different. You start wondering if your prayer is too big, maybe you heard God wrong, or maybe if what you're praying for is if it's even meant for you. Then the voices around you don't help. Lower your expectations, stop getting your hopes up. What you're praying for is probably not going to happen. Somewhere along the way, you stop wrestling with your circumstances and start wrestling with your faith. But what if a season where nothing is changing is not evidence that God is not working? Today, we're talking about what faith looks like when nothing around you is changing and how to keep believing when everything you can see tells you to stop. If the promise hasn't manifested, we start believing that God isn't doing anything at all. But here's the thing: God can be moving in ways that are not visible to me or you yet. Don't measure God's movement only by external results. Invisible growth is still growth. And this is honestly a message for me and for you, because when we think about this, it's like a tree whose roots are being established over the years. They're growing and forming, and we may not see the root system, but that doesn't mean that the tree is not growing. So I encourage you today that even if things are happening that we don't see because they're not yet visible to us, growth is growth. Advancement is advancement, even if we don't completely see it or perceive it yet. The key thing here is we want to be getting closer to what God said, right? Even if we don't see that thing, we still want to know that there is motion happening behind the scenes. And know that faith, which is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen, is working alongside God to produce something. And even when we understand that God may be working things out beneath the surface, that doesn't mean that the reality of our experience suddenly disappears. But I sure wish it did. You can know that God is working and still say, "This is hard. I'm tired of doing XYZ." You can trust God and still be disappointed. You can believe He is faithful and wish that He had done it differently or done it by now. And I think in general, in the Christian community, we misunderstand faith, thinking that what we're experiencing right now has to be brushed under the rug because we have faith. We think having faith means pretending that what we're experiencing isn't real, but that's not faith. Faith doesn't require you to ignore reality. Hear this. Faith interprets reality through God. Faith is not denial. You can acknowledge, this is hard. I wanted things to work out differently. I don't understand. Faith says, what I see is real, but this is not the only reality. Our sight says, this hasn't happened. And faith says, this hasn't happened yet, but God said that it would. And we want to be intentional here so that what hasn't happened does not cause us to put our life on pause. Faith keeps us from putting our life on pause. This is a big one because subconsciously, a lot of times we think, I'll be happy when, I'll enjoy life when, I'll do this when. But God has not called us to stop experiencing life, to stop living while we wait. You can experience peace before the answer and joy before the breakthrough. Don't miss the season that you're already in because you're obsessed about the season that you're waiting for. There's life for you to live in this season, even here. And a lot of times when you've been waiting a long time, you start asking God, when is this going to happen for me? And we stop asking God, what are you saying to Kaylin today? What are you saying to insert your name here today? And without realizing it, our relationship becomes centered around an outcome. If you do this, I'll trust you. If you answer this, I'll know you heard me. And it's not wrong to ask God to do something for you or to answer a petition. That's not what I'm saying here. Real faith causes us to know who God is even while we're waiting on Him. So I'll leave you with this today. If this has been you and you found yourself focused on God, when is this going to happen for me? When are you going to do what you said? I'm waiting on this outcome, and you've forgotten the promiser. I want to encourage you to enjoy friendship with God, enjoy laughing with God, know Him in that way. Knowing Him in this season doesn't have to just look like I'm waiting on you. Your question today might be, well, God, my life has looked this way all the years that I've been living. So what else? And faith says, I trust God because of who He is. If you want more videos on how to practically apply the Word of God so that you see fruit in your life, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now let's do life practically and with purpose. See y'all next time.